May God be with you all.
She said to me, she said, I want her to have a place to go. I want her to have someone to talk to. She could have, a confidant in me. Yabel said this about Jody's daughter. See how sick that is and twisted? She's saying you can't make excuses for that. You have a friend who's probably mentally ill or something. I don't know what her issue is. That's not normal. That's not rational to want to take somebody's daughter under your wing to make sure that she has someone to talk to. Like, I'm sure that young lady sounds very well educated. I'm pretty sure if something was wrong, she can verbalize that to people around her. Okay? Jenny is like nothing I've ever seen before. I don't know how Chasing Truth can defend it, but she does. She continues to. She's constantly defending this shit. But these are her people. Just like, let it go and admit it. You fight it all the time. So then she goes on to say, I believe he manipulated them and wanted his hands clean and to have someone else make a call. I don't at all. I think this was being planned for quite some time. I don't think Andy Bernard wanted a phone call made at all. I think that's why he wasn't around that day. Was he sleeping? I don't know. Maybe he wasn't. Maybe he just did not want to be a part of any of that shit. Okay? As far as I know, it was a wellness check on Jody. So Chasing also, you know what? I'm going to wait to read the rest of this because Chasing goes on here on this panel to say that it was just a wellness check. So now, if you put two and two together, because we're not idiots and morons, you're going to know that if someone calls in that a child is being held hostage by their mother, and their mother is telling said child to take themselves out, it's a wellness check? You sure about that, Chasing? Because that's what Adrian called in. Yeah, just a wellness check. No, everybody came, right? CPS has to follow up on those things, Chasing saying that CPS didn't show up. You sure about that? Because Penny Fizzle was on the phone with the magistrate's wife that night, trying still to get Jody's daughter removed from the house. See, Penny was way more sloppy. She wasn't as organized as Jenny and Adrian. Chasing had to eventually push Penny out. Like, she was a whole liability. Adrian and Jenny are a little bit more concealed, right? They keep things very close to the vest. All their dirty work is kept all under the table. I can't even believe that I'm sitting here having to talk about this again. But this is not all of this. A lot of this is going to blow people's fucking minds.
And privately.
And you chose to be friends with them and go on vacations with them. You must have really meant it, huh?
No, I totally understood why it happened.
You understood why? Why then? Why did they do that? Do you know?
Yeah, because of what Andy told them.
Andy didn't tell them anything. He was sleeping all day.
He did, and then he went and took a nap.
What did he say?
It's gone over, Tiffany. You know the whole
No, I'd like
it's
to hear it from you.
over.
If you're going to come up here and say, because of what Andy told them, please say what he said.
So Sage Sleuth says in the chat, hold on one second, I want to highlight this. Sage says, in my opinion, Jenny was the one who set it all in motion with everyone. Sage, I believe Jenny was. Absolutely. I'm agree with you on that. I was live, so I don't know what happened. All I know is Jenny came up, started acting hysterical, begging Jody not to hurt her daughter. Don't do anything crazy, Jody, please, blah, blah, blah. Penny's texting me. It's a hostage situation. I'm like, what is going on right now? You know, I took it very seriously. I shut my live down. I privated it. I privated videos of Jody. I was like, oh my God, like maybe this has all gone too far. I didn't know what was going on. Okay. The fact that, and I'll tell you why I agree with you, Sage. when Jenny's in charge, Adrian has to do the work. When Adrian's in charge, Jenny has to do the work. So I absolutely agree with you because it was Adrian who said she had just gone off the phone and made the calls and all this shit. I do agree it was Jenny that really set all this in motion. Gavel geeks. I should call her Gavel because not everyone knows who Jenny is, right? They're like, who the hell is Jenny? Adrian is Krama Mama, Mama Sassy. I don't know why she calls herself that. I can't even find her channel. Whatever. So they think if they disappear, no one's going to say anything. I'm still here, bitches. And I'm not fucking going anywhere because I'm not done. This isn't done until all the truth comes out, until Chasing stops getting up here with her fucking mop and her bucket trying to clean everything up. Stop doing that, Chasing. You do them no favors. You do yourself no favors when you do this. Just take the L, bitch. Just take the fucking L.
You didn't know anything about this. It's so
This has
interesting.
been going on for years now, Tiffany. Years.
I know it has.
And I have nothing to do with it. That's the bottom line.
Keep saying that. Don't make it
I
true.
don't give a fuck if you think that I
You
did.
do give a fuck. That's why you lie. That's why you lie every
Prove that I'm
fucking
fucking
time.
lying. Prove that I'm fucking lying.
I already have proved you lying.
Bullshit. You have not.
Yes, I have. I'll put all my lies back up about you and they can.
Please do.
I will.
Please do.
I'll put them all up. You want to sit up here and act like you didn't know anything about it.
I would
You
never
involve yourself with CPS
I would
callers.
never
You're friends with
fucking do
CPS callers. You're friends with people that go real life on all these children, and you sit and deny it in front of everyone like they're supposed to believe your bullshit. No one believes your bullshit, Tracy. You do know that people see through you, especially now.
Do you think I would come up here and talk
Yes,
about
I
it?
do.
Fine,
Come up here right away every time, no matter where I am.
Oh, maybe
No matter where I am, so you can lie and make sure you try to do your cleanup shit. You're always on your cleanup.
like somebody said in the fucking chat, you have some weird hard on for me.
No, I don't have a hard
Okay.
on for you.
Yeah,
What I
you
have a
do.
fucking
Yeah,
issue
you
with
do.
is if you're not honest and you're not a decent person like I thought you.
Now, no one touch Andy B. Please do not time him out. Now watch this. Andy, so fancy meeting you here. Not much has changed, huh? So he's coming in to derail because we're talking about this, and that's just fine because I love that so much. It's one of my favorite things. He wants to say, hey, Ziggy, I wasn't on the road. Haven't you said that already, Andy B? Why don't you tell me, how did that all go down, Andy, with you recording your son? Since we're on the subject, you came at the perfect time. You want to explain how that all went down? You recorded your son on a phone call. Can you tell us what the reason was? Why did you do that? Was it to prove that your son was mad at Jody that day, or was it for something else? And do you want to tell us, so we can get it straight from the source, who asked you to record? And who all did you send the recording to? I have some questions, Andy, and you're not going to derail me. I find it to be very interesting that you come in here to tell everyone you weren't on the road. Andy, do you know what car you were driving that day yet? You never could tell us. No, I don't want anybody to time you out. In fact, this is what I like to do when you come in. So Andy comes in at 8:19 p.m. Hey, 8:20 p.m. Hey, Ziggy, I wasn't on the road. 8:20 p.m. How are you, Sage? 8:20, time me out. And this is the real Andy B. I just checked. My mods and I check links, unlike many who have no clue if it was the real person or the wrong person. Hey, TM, you're not derailing shit. Well, it kind of feels like it to me. Can you answer the questions that I asked? I don't have shit to do with Summer Wells. I don't think anyone said that you did, Andy. No one has said that here today. That's a very interesting comment. Just watching it makes you money, don't it? I'm sorry, come again? Watching what makes me money? What are you talking about? Andy, how much money have you made? You're charging people for getting on your property, right? You're making a lot of money off Summer, aren't you? It's kind of weird. While you're coming in here, I don't see money flying around my chat. People are not paying me to talk about these assholes, okay? I'm doing this because I care about it. I only come live when I have something to say. I don't come live for a paycheck because I don't rely on YouTube to pay my fucking bills. You don't see any wish list over here, do you, Andy B? No one's supporting my household over here. I do that. Who supports yours? So you don't have shit to do with Summer Wells. Just watching it makes you money, don't it? The fuck are you talking about? So you were driving the Kia that day, he says. Okay, so you're sure now. You finally know what you were driving that day. We got an answer? Carl has a question for Andy. Hey, Andy, did you ever read my article about you? All them kids being drugged on the hill and the 911 call? And who raped who, Andy? You know, Andy had a very interesting story about a bunch of young girls in the back of a van that some guy opened up the back of it and asked him if he wanted any. They were for sale. You know what I drew as a conclusion from that statement is that whoever did that and opened up the back of that van, right, Andy, you know what I'm talking about. Remember that night I went up on Ernie's and I talked about this and you were talking about these young girls that were in the back of this van? Whoever opened up the back of that van for you knew you're down with that shit. You wouldn't walk up to someone who doesn't buy drugs and say, hey, do you want these drugs? Same thing with humans, right? So you told on yourself that you purchased young women out of the back of vans too. Because nobody is ever going to open up the back of a van and say, hey, you want one of these? Unless they know you fucking do. Right, Andy? Don't hide from Don, fuck him and them. That's interesting. I don't ever hear you use strong language like that toward Don. Are you angry about something? What about Summer, Andy? Says Pam. He says he has nothing to do with her disappearance. No one said he did. No one's even said a word about Andy having anything to do with Summer's disappearance. Chrissy F, it's okay. You don't have to blend with all of us. It's fine. You're welcome to be here. You know, not everyone in these chats is going to like each other. None. None of what? You're going to have to type in complete sentences because I don't know what you're answering. None. I've asked you multiple questions, so if you could, you know, type at 3rd grade level, that would be great. Andy, I'd appreciate it. Sage, you're just mad I wouldn't talk to you. I highly doubt Sage is mad you wouldn't talk to her, Andy. Move on. Did I do it? Did you do what? These are all very strange comments, Andy, I gotta say. Are you drinking or something tonight? Weird. Oh, I know he makes all the money. I hear Ryan Finds Truth pays big money to Andy Bernard. You keep doing that, Ryan. Yeah, he came to YouTube wanting a camper. Remember, that's what his dying wish was. He wanted a camper. He came here so he could buy a camper. Andy, why don't you buy a real fucking house? Aren't you old enough now to stop living off of your parents or what? And don't you think your new wife deserves more than a trailer? Is that a trend for you? Do you like women to be stuck in trailers and campers and shit? You're a real piece of shit, Andy B. You really are. I don't respect you at all. Wasn't young. That's what JSB said, not me. No, actually, it's not, Andy. You're wrong. You know what? Jody Sue kind of had your back with that situation. Funny how you want to blame Jody Sue. I remember really well. You were the one who spoke about those young women, and Jody Sue had a whole nother take on it. Wrong again. I remember like the back of my eyelids. I do have the memory of an elephant. Jody Sue didn't say that. That's not what she said. You should pay more attention. She actually does have your back most days. Weird. So weird. Stardust, it says that Andy let all them girls be abused again. Didn't call nobody. Of course he didn't. He let that guy shut the door to that van and off they went. And Andy said they were all happy. All those girls were happy in the back of that van. Do you remember that, Andy? I do. Mimi Jean, that's why we're here. Just want a summer moon found and justice. Susan Brown, you know who made the most money though? Chasing Truth. She bought herself a $90,000 BMW with the money. Then she said she had to stop covering Summer because she felt guilty for how much money she was making. So, you know what? I don't really think Summer has been paying Ziggy's bills. But I do know Summer bought that $90,000 BMW that Chasing refused to admit she even fucking has. She won't get behind the wheel of that on camera ever. But she sure did drive it to Beach Creek and park it in Ben Hill. And she pointed that camera right at it because she was so proud of it. That's the car Adrian was driving, right? At 80 miles per hour down the side of a mountain. Remember when the guy was chasing him, but now it's 2 guys, not just 1. No, Chasing Truth, where's the crown? Who the fuck here has bought themselves a $100,000 vehicle off of Summer Wells? Chasing Truth has. That's Summer's BMW, Tracy. Well, you took out a second mortgage on your house that you told everyone was paid off. That's what you chose to do. Now, your finances are your own fucking business. But when you use Summer to purchase a vehicle like that, fuck you. I really don't think now is the time or place to blame Ziggy really for anything, Susan Brown. Are you 6 up? Andy says, I've never bought sex. You're stupid. Okay. That's fine. So what do you do with them girls in the back of the van? Do you force them? Or you don't have to pay them? Do you just take advantage of them? How do you handle that situation? The real Andy B. So you've never bought sex. So why did that man open up the back of his van to offer those girls to you? They do that for free? I'm going to need some clarification, please. 120 acres? Absolutely. Tell me anyone is going to open up a van with young women in it and say, hey, you want to buy one of these? And they have no idea if the person's going to be okay with it or not. It had happened already before. Whoever did that knew Andy was okay with it. Right? Right. It's just that simple. Stardusted. Andy has no shame about the fact at all. None. Jody is a victim of Andy Bernard, really, from a young age, okay? Andy is a coward. I agree. Couldn't agree more. Hey, Mika. Ziggy says, good question, who was that opened the van for you to take a look? That's really important, considering a child is missing. Ziggy, he's never going to tell. But you know what? Jody won't tell either. But he said it was at a tire shop or something like that, if I recall correctly. See, it's crazy. You've got Jenny, Gavel Geeks, and Adrian, Krama Mama, and Chasing pretends not to like Andy, but she's talked to him plenty. None of these fucking bitches have asked him these questions because they don't give a fuck. And people wonder why I have no respect for them. They stick this asshole in their back pocket, and they couldn't give two shits less if they asked these questions. That's all you really need to know. It's like they're friends with Andy for their health. It's the strangest thing I've ever seen. He's telling me to move on, that he didn't purchase the girl, so he didn't do anything wrong. I don't believe you, Andy Bernard. I don't believe you. Not even a little. When Evil Entered says, Andy, you know there's a video of you on the road. How do you know the date says the 15th? Did you track down the footage? Andy says funny. Is it funny, Andy? I don't think any of this is funny. I think you got really comfortable with a bunch of losers sitting around defending you online when you're suspect as hell. And what you're suspect for, I really don't know. I never said you were involved in the disappearance of Summer. I've never stated that you've done anything. But I don't like you. I've never liked your energy because it doesn't lie. And I pick up on it so easily. I've always believed you're a piece of shit. Men that don't take care of their women or their children or their property for that matter, that shithole you were living in, you should be ashamed of yourself. I actually can't believe you showed anyone that. The garbage that you dumped on that property, listen, that says everything about you. Why don't you go up there, Andy, and clean that up? That's your ancestors' property. Your blood, sweat, and tears went into that, and that's what you did to that place? You have beautiful acreage there. You're just letting it pile up like a dump? That looks like my town dump. You have recyclables there piled up for 20 goddamn years. You are a dirtbag. You do know that, right? And you allowed your girlfriend and your children to live there like that. Oh, I'm sure Becca's gonna have a great life with you. You're trash, Andy. You're straight trash. Stardust, it says he sold sedatives so young girls could be touched. That's exactly what Jody said. I played it on loop for 12 hours. Andy. We just run wild? Okay. You always find your way here into my chat. It's so strange. Do you want attention? Andy, would you like a link? Because you look like you want attention. I need to get back to what I'm doing. So if you'd like to take a link and get it out of your system and take 10 minutes, that's fine with me. But if not, you know, say what you got to say and move along. Because this isn't about you. I know you're used to getting the spotlight, but we're all done here. If you're done, you done now? I can't imagine you have much else to say. They are okay with domestic violence. You're absolutely right, JPG. They absolutely are. Andy busted Jody's face wide open. He beat her till she was bloody and bruised. Literally, she had wounds on her. And Andy admitted it. He admitted it out of his own face. Yeah, he said, I did. Beat the shit out of Jody. And those bitches had the nerve to hand out domestic violence flyers at Summer's Day, while they plopped themselves down next to Andy Bernard, a wife beater, who gladly admits it. Justice for Summer. Thank you, peace, hugs, and understanding. Andy thinks this is the Andy show. Talking shit, don't find Summer Wells. I would absolutely agree with you, Andy. Do you need something? You have a channel, right? It's called The Real Andy B. Welcome to mine. You've been here before. I do what I want over here. You don't like what I'm doing today? I'm gonna be here all weekend and probably all week. So if you don't like what I'm doing today, you're not gonna like what I'm doing tomorrow or the next day or the next day. And maybe even the next day. I do talk shit. You don't like it? Are you trying to protect your friends? Are y'all in a throuple over there? What? You fucking Jenny and Adrian and Becca too? Like, what actually all is going on? You guys have a real weird relationship. All of you do. It's real strange. I find it just so strange that your second comment in here was that you didn't do anything to Summer. You know what I think, Andy? I'll be straight up with you. Remember when you made that call to Hawkins County and you wanted to make sure that, you know, you were all in the clear and that your name doesn't pop up? And Pruitt said, don't listen to Fred Hill. Don't take him seriously. We don't have your name listed anywhere. You're all clear. Andy, you either fell off a turnip truck, or you were born yesterday, or you've been smoking too much meth. And I'm not quite sure. Maybe all three. I'm not really positive. They could lie to you, right? You really feel like you're in the clear? Because I don't think you are. I think they could tell you whatever they want to, just to keep you content. Because I don't trust any of you motherfuckers. Especially not you. I never have. I have never fucking liked you. And I really don't know anyone I've felt that strongly about the whole way through, and never changed my mind. I've never liked you. There's a reason for that. My intuition is so on point, and I always trust it. I never let it ever slip away. Oh, I make it where no one wants to say anything about it because of y'all's BS. Andy, I haven't been live in like 3 months, so you're really bothered. This is my first live. I've been live for an hour and 30 minutes when you came in here. I'm really glad you're triggered. Oh, yeah, y'all just make it where no one wants to say anything about it. Right. Weird. It's so weird. Shirley, she has to hide it. She's so embarrassed and ashamed, as she should be. She needs to sell it and put that money in a fund for Summer. That BMW came off a boat. That's a showroom BMW, and it's beautiful. But you know what? Summer deserves that. Because if she's found alive, she's gonna need a lot of support. Jason doesn't give a shit about Summer, because if she did, she would never have made all that money and blew it on a fucking BMW. Disgusting. She's gross. So gross. Christy F says, in my opinion, I don't think any of the neighbors had anything to do with whatever happened to Summer. And you know what, Christy? Some people don't believe that at all. I personally, I don't know. So I just leave everything open to possibility. Because we really don't have any idea, right? Like, so that's the way I see it. I'm not going to say someone had something to do with it. Listen, sometimes people are hiding things that have absolutely nothing to do with the situation. It might be something else. So they look shady because they're hiding something else or whatever. That's why I will say, I don't know who had anything to do with Summer's disappearance, but someone did. That's all, right? That's all I know. And everyone can have whatever opinion they want to in here. He's smooth-brained. He sure is. He's definitely not the smartest. Foxy, isn't it funny the way he tries to intimidate? You know what the thing is? Andy can't do that with me. He's never been successful. I would spit on you, Andy, if you were standing in front of me. Swear to God, I would. I have zero respect for a woman beater, or a child beater for that matter, or a man who has knowledge of young women in the back of vans, right? You're just an all-around piece of garbage. You probably belong behind bars. See how quick he's gone? Fuck you, Andy. You're shady as hell, and everybody knows it. And whatever that means to whoever, I don't trust him at all. And maybe he was on the road. I have no idea. Time will tell. I mean, everything does come to light, right? I'm sure Jenny said, get out of there, Andy. Get out of there. Don't go in there. Don't pull your dog back in, Jenny. You're the boss, bitch, right? You control him, huh? So let's get back to what we were doing before.
To work.
You know
You're boss of all these things.
You know
You
that-
support it. You say nothing.
You know that's a lie.
I don't care what anybody in the chat says. I'm not
You
even
thought
looking
that I
at
was
chat.
decent. You
I'm
know
talking to
that's
you.
a lie. Okay.
You came up here so you can do damage control like always and say,
You're not going to
but now you weren't friends with them.
You're not
That's a good one.
a CPS caller. I have
You're friends with CPS callers,
I
Tracy.
didn't know shit about it. No, it wasn't.
They tried to get her removed
It
out of
was
the
a
house.
fucking wellness check.
No, it wasn't a wellness check.
Yeah,
It was far more than a wellness check. They said that that little girl was going to take herself out because her mom was telling her to, and that she was holding her hostage. It's not a wellness check.
No, that's not normal.
I still just cannot get over the fact that this piece of shit comes into my chat like he's some kind of like GQ model, right? He's got a gut that sticks out about 5 feet, okay? His ass crack hangs out of his pants. He does look dirty, and she has a life path like he hasn't bathed since before COVID. Yes, he does. But he's a woman beater, and he also puts his hands on his children. And then we have stories about him selling drugs to people to sedate children so they can be right? Okay, so hard to even fucking say. Either way, Andy Bernard is a fucking nobody here in my chat. That's all I know. I have no tolerance for men that do what I saw that he did to Jody. He's gonna do that to. Just wait. No, you're listening. You're next. And I don't wish that on you. But when a man does that to one woman, they do it to the next, and they do it to the next. They do not change. You don't have a prize at all. You have a loser on your hands. But Andy, I hope you feel like the piece of shit that you are leaving here. You are not what they treat you like in my chat. You are dumpster juice over here. You know the water that comes out of the back of the garbage truck after it rains and it gets all over the road and it stinks like fucking shit. And that's where I put you, Andy. And all the other men that behave that way. I'm wondering when the fuck he's gonna stop coming in here acting like he's something special.
Yeah.